Ladies and gentlemen, folks of all ages and from all lands, welcome back to the Simplicity Mock Overwatch League. We have got a real banger of a match for you tonight. It's the one you've all been waiting for, the San Francisco Shungite versus the New York Prime, two dominant teams ready to face off in the playoffs. I'm your host, Nico. We will be heading to Lijiang shortly, and I could not be more excited to share this match with you tonight. Happy New Year, 2020's over, let's kick the year off right. And if you want to kick the year off right, there's no better way to do it than with this match. We have a dominant team in the New York Prime. They have been absolutely stellar all year long, and for their starting lineup, we have on the tank, Juice Ice and Killswitch, a phenomenal duo, often known for throwing, often known for teabagging, often known for absolutely decimating their opponents with relative ease. I think New York's dropped like 2 maps on the year, if I remember correctly. Over on the DPS, we have Dad, who, mine left and never came back, but this one's better. He's in the game to stay and to win. And, of course, Cyndaquil, that's Heracross from earlier in the season. And nothing could be further from the truth. Absolutely not a disappointment. Heracross has come up with some fantastic Genji play when he's been able to play on the Genji and has been outstanding on the DPS all season long. And then on support, the carousel of animains, it never seems to end. Peach is going to be on probably the Lucio, but, I think last game, New York went through a hat trick of Ana players. Everybody got a map. But Lin is their starting Ana player most of the time, very well known for the Wait What clip. I think that's our most watched clip, actually. And, we're sorry about that one, but by the same token, I can't feel too bad for you because, map after map, absolute domination coming out from that Biotic Sniper rifle. And then, the starting lineup for the San Francisco Shungite. They have been on a tear in this play-in playoff race, starting from being a mid-tier team to being one of the most looked-at teams for right now, and even that's underselling their regular season. They were pretty much up there, but we thought nobody could take on New York, and now, we're not so sure. On the tank line, Spark Chief and Kilo. Kilo, of course, phenomenal. The absolute mechanics are... It looks like magic to my plat eyes. It's really a sight to behold. And Spark Chief coming over from the console to absolutely dominate the entire field. You talk about a comeback story. This man went from being... I don't know how SR works on console. Is it even the same? But it's no small thing to bridge that gap so successfully. On the DPS, a standout duo, Xiphon, one of the best tracers we've seen in a while, and Sarang, who has been phenomenal backing him up. Can't say enough about these two. Look to them to make the difference in the match. When the fights go to chaos, Xiphon is there on the cleanup. And then the support line, Dauntless and Lucky, have been phenomenal backing the tank line up, backing up Spark Chief and Kilo, really enabling Xiphon on the tracer. And if there's a team that could give New York a run for their money right now, it would be San Francisco. It might be now. It might be tonight. Let's ring in the new year right and drop into Lijiang. I am pumped for this match, and I hope you are too. Let's get right into it. And as we are headed to China, Lijiang Tower, the home of, on Garden at least, some of the more exciting strats. We've seen bridge boops, we've seen sim TPs, we've seen everything from Ryan Zarya to Ball Sigma, and what will we see today? Nobody knows. Good lucks are in the chat, and we are ready to head out. It will be the Ball Sigma, probably, for San Francisco, and looking like it might be the same for New York. So Ball Sigma, we've seen this composition before. We've seen just how hard it is to cope with the raw statistics of Sigma coupled with the distraction that Ball can put out, and Pile Driver, Rock, and a Sigma Volley is a one-shot on a 200 HP character. And by the way, Tracer's got less HP than that. The main difference in the composition right now looks to be the Brig Zen for San Francisco versus the Zen Mercy, pocketing that Echo for New York. So as the teams are going to be rolling out, taking the bridge, actually San Francisco will be going to White Room, and it looks like they'll have their first control of the point pretty early. Well, they won't get the flip yet. It hasn't unlocked, but they're going to have the position first, and now it is New York outside looking in. But sometimes with these kind of divey... Oh, and there it is! Peach gets lucky. Well, there's no luck in that. That's just a whole lot of skill, but takes his head right off. And now the Wrecking Ball's dueling on the point, but once you've lost your Zenyatta, it's so hard for a composition to survive. Killswitch picks off Dauntless. There are no healers, but the DPS on San Francisco coming back with 2 picks, eliminating the DPS of the New York Prime. And now, Lucky takes Peach's head off, and it's going to be San Francisco winning this fight off of a hero play from Zyphon and Sarang. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about how dominant the San Francisco DPS have been, making something out of nothing. And now Sarang is up to that duplicate already, a full 5th ahead of Heracross. And that's without a Mercy pocket. Juice way in the back line. Gonna get held up a bit, discorded, but will survive with that shield. And back to his team. They're in White Room. Dad's flanking around on the Tracer, has a clip on Sarang, and Sarang goes down early. And Dad's gonna be able to get out. Or discorded, blinks into the middle of the team, gets the Pulse Bomb on the Zen. And now there's 2 picks with the Valkyrie up for New York, and this should be a pretty quick fight to go over to New York. But the mines are out from Spark Chief. Cyndaquil takes down Dauntless. And the trans from Peach is probably going to seal the deal on this fight. Although that might have been over-ulting to invest the duplicate as well. Coming back in with Flux and... Oh, but duplicate comes out from Sarang, and Sarang takes down Peach. And a whole lot of ults are traded. Peach gets rezzed, both tank ults out for New York. And now I don't know what the ult economy is looking like. But New York will take this fight and flip it back over, begin accruing some percentage. Coming back in with the Flux and the Bomb, and quite possibly both support ults, if Dauntless can proc Inspire a couple of times. This next fight really looks like it's San Francisco's fight to lose, and that's really not the situation you want to be in if you're the New York Prime and you're looking at 33 to 66. And already the Shungite are on the point, and here comes the Flux. They go up and they go down, taking a half HP, but staying alive for the time being. Lyn barely alive with the Valkyrie. Went down to 20 HP there. Peach will die, but the damage is there. And New York, with that Valkyrie, are able to sustain long enough to get the kills they need. Neither support ult used on the side of the Shungite, though, so an important pair of tools there, the Trans and the Rally. Those are 2 of the biggest ultimates in the game. Dad's Pulse Bomb has to come up huge here to force either one of those out or eliminate its possible use. Because otherwise, oh, and there's the early Rally trying to make sure that the team gets Rally armor from Dauntless. Probably fearing that Pulse Bomb, and Peach goes down. It's so difficult to win a fight without this, and New York has to disengage. And now both. Oh, but there's the Trans. Both supports down. New York can't win this. They can only stall, and that's what Heracross is going to be doing on that Wrecking Ball. Coming up to the mines might just pop them on point, but yeah, nothing to do there. And now New York has the Trans, and San Francisco has no support ults, but San Francisco is going to get a contest. And they have the duplicate and the mines. It's not looking that great for New York. That being said, we have seen New York come out of stickier situations on top. But if Zyphon comes up big with this Pulse Bomb and the Tracer and the Ball, they dive in. They split off Killswitch and Lyn, forcing Peach to use that Trans just to get his tanks to point. And Killswitch goes down anyway. Focusing Beam out damaging the Transcendence. And now, San Francisco coming in with all the kills. They were able to stall just long enough to get that duplicate used on their terms, force the Trans early. And from there, it's an easy fight win. I mean, that was just tactical superiority on the side of San Francisco. And you don't often see New York drop a map. You don't often see New York drop a point. And you know, from where I was looking, it wasn't even close. New York had to pull some miracles out just to be able to stay in that map. And now coming over to the Rhine map, though, I'm going to go ahead and say that New York has a definite advantage in this case, just because, I mean, have you seen Juice on the Rhine? On this Rhine patch, feeding is a strength. And kill switch on the Sigma is so strong mechanically. Now, I haven't seen Spark Chief's Rhine, so here comes the clash of the Titans. And they're both sent up in the air at various points. But I think the difference is going to be made by Lynn on the Ana, as it has been many a time in the case of these Rhine v Rhine matchups. New York plays the Ana, the other team plays something like Baptiste. I mean, so far nothing has really been happening. A lot of people being sent up in the air by Junkrat mines, but there's so much healing from the Bap and the Ana. Oh, but Juice goes down to the Symmetra. That's a lot of damage coming out from that Sim Beam. And there won't be a corresponding pick for New York. It's just their tank line goes down. They must retreat. And both teams have 6 ults. Because actually Dad kind of got out-symmetried there, but you know, God forbid someone get out-symmetried. It's a little bit of a comical hero, in my opinion, but it did give San Francisco the win on that fight, so I suppose I can't be too dismissive. And here comes the wall just to prevent that Junkrat pick damage, and the tire comes out, up through the stairway, picks off Dad, and that'll be a wrap on this fight as the Rhine closes in, takes down Heracross, and they will be speeding forward with the speed boost from Lucky into the spawn doors. They have to teleport back. And now it's San Francisco looking to really cement their advantage on this point. Oh my goodness, what a shatter! Booped up by the Junkrat mine, and the slam comes down, and now all sorts of ults coming out. Counterpinned, and the Rip Tires will be traded. Oh, but Sarangs is bigger, taking down Peach. And the tank and kill switch. And now New York is on a full retreat once again. And with 2/3 of the point already given over, and not much in the ultimate bank for either team, but the Symmetra wall and the Shatter, that's what they've got. That's going to have to be enough for New York. And here they come, with the speed boost, with the Rhine. There's the wall, and I expect we'll be seeing a Shatter any moment now. Hold your breath, everybody. There it is, right into the Sigma Shield. That's absolutely tragic. But the Immortality Field has to be used, goes down, and Lucky gets picked. Without the Lucio, there's no retreating option. So then there's the pick they needed, and now it'll be a full team wipe, giving New York the chance, having picked off that Lucio first, to recharge some of their other ultimates. So Peach going to be coming up on a sound barrier, and I don't think they got as much out of that cleanup as they would have wanted to, but it was certainly more than 0, and sometimes that's what you need. Especially when you're starting from 0. I mean, the San Francisco Shungite just 99'd New York. Oh, there's the Immortality Field. What a nade from Lin, though. That's the difference this Ana can make, and now the resources so low, but here comes the tire. Gotta hit this with the Fire Strike. Oh, and Dad takes it down with a Symmetra turret. Gives his life for it, but worth it in my opinion. And the beat just in time for the Flux, and that's why those cleanup kills are so important. The Shatter coming in, but oh, Spark Chiefs is bigger, but gets slept. It won't be enough, but what a pair of plays from New York's supports, just to try to give them one last chance on this map. It wasn't to be, but what an incredible play. Victory. And the San Francisco Shungite just, in a twist of fate that no one could have foreseen, have just played better than the New York Prime. Heracross with the play of the game, the duplicated Sigma. This was, I think, the only fight that New York convincingly won. on this first point. And then the second one, the only fight they convincingly won was that big team wipe, and that was it. I mean, Lijiang Tower goes to the San Francisco Shungite. New York, dominant all season. And they just get outplayed. I've never seen Overwatch like that. I'm in awe, and I cannot wait to see how these two teams compete on our next map. And I don't actually know what our next map will be yet, but we will find out together shortly. I mean, look, fellas, I'm a plat player. Everything that just happened is so above my understanding, but even I can appreciate the genius of that Junkrat mine into Shatter combo that Sarang and Spark Chief pulled off. That was one of the best things I've seen this year, he said on January 3rd, but still, that's a pretty good, that makes me happy inside. I get the warm fuzzy feelings when I see a play like that. The nade from Lin. If all the rest of the maps are like that one, where it's just the razor's edge of some big mechanical outplay or set strategy that gives one team the win over the other, I will be a very happy camper. And going to Kings Row, I'm already a happy camper. Let me tell you what, Kings Row, you love to see it, you love to scrim it, you love to get it in your comp games. Everybody loves Kings Row. Production, can we get the winter variation by any chance? It is almost New Year's after all. We're so close. By any chance, could we get the winter variation? I'm screaming into the void, that's okay, but
Mic on.
I mean,
Mic off.
unfortunate. Kings Row, a wonderful map anyway, and New York and San Francisco are going to be battling it out again. Now, they're not actually from New York or San Francisco, otherwise I'd be calling this the Battle of the Coasts, and we'd be having some jokes about time zones and all that, but this is still a huge matchup. San Francisco has been dominant during the play-ins, and New York has been dominant all season. This is a real clash of the Titans. Nobody thought San Francisco was this good. I mean, when I say nobody, I mean me. I didn't think San Francisco were this good, but you know, I've played with New York before. They've been playing together for a while, and to take a map off them as convincingly as that is no easy feat. I am thoroughly impressed and cannot wait to see what San Francisco is able to pull out of their hat on Kings Row, because Juice got out-rhined last map, and I'm not used to seeing that. So the creativity from Spark Chief, very much something I could get used to.
Battery low.
But Kings Row means that we may be about to see some kill switch Zarya, which is a sight to behold. Kilo as well, a fantastic Zarya. If we got a Ryan Zarya map right now, I would be just I'd love that. But
now entering.
The teams decide their destinies, and well, we'll know in 20 seconds. Both teams ready to head in. Here we are in, I think Kings Row is part of London, yes? In this fictitious Overwatch world, so we are going to be in London, England. Dad already tilted in the match chat. It's not fair, they have a 5-stack.
Ready for battle.
And as I'm sure all of you know, Matchmaker does not like matching 6 solos versus a 5-stack, but in this case, that is what has happened.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And it is up to the members of New York to really get a statement win here to counteract that. I don't want to say beatdown, but that's more of a beatdown than New York has ever received otherwise, so. It will not be the Dad Doomfist, as they are joking about in match chat. It will be the Dad Ash. Heracross on the Echo, this time no Mercy Pocket. Lyn on the Ana, as you would expect on King's Row. And Spark Chief Kilo, Juice Ice Kill Switch, they are going to be on the Sigma Ryan. Sarang teased us with the Widow, but it wasn't to be. Oh, a huge rush! Juice gets caught with the May Wall! Oh my goodness! Spark Chief gets naded, but they're able to keep him up with the Immortality Field. And New York gets convincingly outplayed once again, just out-aggressed. And San Francisco will be rolling forward. A speed boost from Lucky into a May Wall from Sarang, and you can't win a fight after your Reinhardt is down. Juice already back to the corner, but they're just gonna do it again! What if they did the exact same thing, but again? The speed boost, the May Wall, the fight win. I mean, New York can't keep falling for this. And now they've had to give up second corner, they've had to give up chokehold, and the cart's been rolling the whole time. The Zenyatta is biting on granite here, and now Juice back to the corner one more time, but... And this time... Oh, but Zyphon picks off Kill Switch in the middle of his flux! And here comes the High Noon. This'll take down the Echo at least, probably. No, nothing. Simply a zoning High Noon. No one's on the cart. Now Lucio and Bap are on the cart, but... Other than that, the cart hadn't stopped moving. And the counter shatter against the duplicate to take down Lyn. And now there are no Ana heals. New York has to win this fight quickly, but the Baptiste is on the high ground. And Kilo and Zyphon are combining to take down that duplicated Ryan. The Echo falls. And now it's a Zenyatta solo healing against the Bap. With Zyphon getting pick after pick. New York look boomed right now. I don't know what I'm witnessing. I actually cannot comprehend what I'm seeing take place. Here's the Bob to contest the cart. This is the first moment that the cart has stopped rolling since everybody accidentally got off of it in the street phase. I think the proper word would be shook. And now Spark Chief just walks forward, threatens the shatter, even though there's no chance he could have it, and Juice is just scared. He's running backwards. He's behind his Sigma. Now they duel. And Juice gets Sarang. The May pushed up to get the Blizzard off. And Trans does outlast that Blizzard, but it got them the position they needed, and they aren't going to be able to push this for ult charge. New York doesn't have the rushdown on this fight because of Sarang's Blizzard. And now, I mean, Lyn has had to switch off the comfort pick off of the Ana onto the Bap. And San Francisco have all the tools, and now they have a pick as well. Oh, and he lifts the High Noon into the air. It won't get anything, but a classic blunder. Dad has time to respawn. The Heracross Ryan. Nothing to scoff at, even when it isn't a duplicate. They go up, they go down into the Immortality Field. Here comes the Bob. And the shatter from Spark Chief going through 2 Rhine shields on the side of New York. Creativity from the console player, and Lyn is left to suicide on the point. Cyndaquil falls as well, and now they just have to group up on the right and rush in. Here comes Kill Switch on the ball to stall. Nothing doing. There is a May. Attempts to get the boop off, but a shatter from Juice could turn the tide. The May forced into the ice block, and it does. Heracross out on the Doomfist. They barely hold, but with 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the time bank, it can't be for long. New York getting rolled. I've never seen it in my life. And now, hopefully, a chance to stabilize is should be New York's idea here. Just sit back, stabilize, but Juice gets caught by the Maywall again. Oh, Sarang, that's the second time. Head taken off mid-blizzard. And Juice going to stay alive. Spark Chief barely mistimed that charge, trying to time it so that the damage would hit when the trans was just ending. But unfortunately, it's just going to... Oh, and the shatter from Juice lands first! And there, the main tank difference swings for once the other way. Sarang, the only member of San Francisco that's going to escape. That interaction between, with Spark Chief's charge in the trans, if Juice didn't have that box right behind him, he would have been very wrong to not counterpin. But fortunately, there was a box. Well, fortunately for Juice Eyes, definitely not fortunately for Spark Chief. And now, just trying to deny each other the shatter, gonna be eating these fire strikes. Nobody wants to give the other ult charge. The Sigma shield down, the rock out, and here comes the flux, lifting them away from the window, down into the immortality field. But in range of the window, you cannot mess with a soldier, and Dad picks up too, as New York fell right into their window and swiftly cut down the Shungite. And it seems they have stabilized for now. San Francisco regrouping. Juice did not catch up to Spark Chief in terms of shatter charge, and it will be, make no mistake, it is the Rhine matchup that is going to make the difference. And of course, when I say Rhine matchup, I mean coordination. No Reinhardt is an island. And despite the Simon and Garfunkel song, neither are any of us. The beat comes out, the Dragon Strike, both DPS ultimates from New York are gonna be nothing doing. Immortality goes down, so very few defensive resources left for New York, and the third time there has been a Transcendence to counter a Blizzard. Once again, going for that charge at the end of the trans, but misses it. And now Spark Chief will go down or not. Peach and Syndic will go down. And Juice can't get the shatter off. The High Noon out from Zyphon. Kill switch off the map. Dad picks up Sarang, but it will not be enough to stop this cart. The Syndic will Doomfist coming out just for the stall. Not long enough. And with 30 seconds remaining in the time bank, and if I'm on New York comms right now, all I have to offer is, well, at least it's under a minute. Those first two phases, the cap and streets, were a smackdown. Complete and utter domination from the San Francisco Shungite. That was unlike anything I have ever seen occur to New York. And this includes the one time that we scrimmed them and they were all on off rolls and hadn't slept in like 36 hours. Still kicked our butts. I mean, you know, they're good, we're bad, but, you know, I'm Platt. But still. New York absolutely got rolled.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And I don't know. My mental's boomed that I'm not even playing. Dad on the Widow, probably just to take this high ground position, but could be wrong. Peach gonna stay on the Zen instead of the Lucio. I don't know how sure I am about not playing the Lucio on the control point, but I mean, Peach has been so phenomenal on the Zen, and nope, Dad will be going for some pot shots, and will not be finding anything yet, and yep, switching now. Now Zyphon is gonna be the only hit scan on the map, unless, and there it is, Dad switches to the Ashe, but Sarang on the Junkrat, an X Factor. Those mines do a lot of damage, and Rhine does not have as much health as Reinhardt players would like him to. And it's gonna be position, but oh, Juice gets booped forward there, discorded. They have to throw out the immortality field early, and the DPS from San Francisco convert on having that off angle and having Juice get booped out of position by the concussion mine. Now, with a window and coming up on a shatter, New York have to do something before tire, because if San Francisco can get in the loop of Tyre and Bob to win fights and contest points, New York hasn't a hope. Oh, and Zyphon picking off Cyndaquil. What a shot. I mean, you can't let that happen if you're New York, obviously. And now Spark Chief and Kilo, oh, they know. And Sarang's gonna have the tire, and Lucky's about to have the trans, and I fail to see how you can win a fight, even with the Dragon Strike, even with the Bob, neither of which are up, by the way. And maybe it's this, maybe it's the window, just to deny entrance across that angle, but here comes the tire, and it will get Dad, who runs out of the lamp. Runs away from the lamp and falls to the rip tire. And now New York resetting once again, and they'll be re-engaging into 4 ults. 2 minutes gone, 2 minutes to go on this first point of Kings Row. And it's going to be tough for New York to get a foothold. Here comes the Flux. Here come the Fluxes. They're both up, they're both down. The Transcendence is going to negate that Dragon Strike. That's the second time Heracross has thrown his Dragon Strike into a defensive ultimate, and the Shatter from Juice, and he blocks it right back. And that is what New York needed. But they get caught by the window. Killswitch and Lin go down. Killswitch goes down to the Dynamite. Oh, Heracross picking up 2, though. Oh, they're going to have a strong re-engage. San Francisco need to watch their step. Peach should be switching on to the Lucio right now, but he goes down to the rock. Gets caught way away from the rest of his team. And now, Heracross's picks mean nothing. They're able to regroup. Heracross coming around the statue on that Hanzo, looking to find something, anything. The Bob comes in from downtown, from up top. The field there in time, this time, the Immortality field, saves this Riptire. Lucky traded for Dad. Zyphon gets 2, but Bob gets Sarang right back, and now with the Junkrat gone, you lose that X Factor as long as you lock down Zyphon, who's 1 HP right now, by the way, but untouchable on the high ground. Here comes Bob just to contest. Juice falling so low, knows he has to disengage. Peach getting caught frontlining in the hotel. And it's now or never for New York. Here they come into the window. And Heracross up top on the Echo. Juice can't get the Shatter down. Dad in the middle of the team fight, and they can't even cap. They can't even take 2 ticks. San Francisco, dominant. Dominant on map 2.
Play of the game.
I've never seen the like. Play of the game goes to Heracross, so you know who are the moral winners. That's right, it's New York. But that was a dominant showing from San Francisco. We knew this would be a good match. We did not expect this to be the route that it has been. 2-0 immediately to San Francisco. I'm in awe of what these players have been able to do, and New York had better step it up if they want to come back and make this reverse sweep happen after halftime. We'll be joined now for halftime by our host, the great and powerful TKI. He makes the league go round. Welcome.
Mic on.
Hello.
You ever seen a thing like that?
I have not. This is a very interesting game we got here. Hold on, I gotta fix this graphic. There we go.
Good.
All right, let's go.
There
All
we
right.
are.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
This is something new. It's very ooh, it's very strange that they lost 2 maps, but I think it's even weirder that they haven't even gotten a point. Both maps have been full caps and no points towards New York. They lost
I don't
both
think we've ever
rounds.
seen that happen in New York before.
No, both rounds of Li Shang went to SF and they got full held. This is something new, and I think SF came in with the right game plan, the right mindset. Uh, I have a feeling that New York probably just blew past this game, not even thinking about it. It's it's gonna be interesting to see what comes out this next half, but I don't know. This is gonna be a tough one to get back into. Momentum swings are hard to come by, and Overwatch is really focused on momentum.
I couldn't agree with you more. I know how it feels when you lose. Like if I lose two in a row like that on the ladder, I'm boomed for the day, man. Somebody's got to force me to stop playing, or I'm gonna drop 300 SR.
I have
Like,
not. That sounds like something I've done before. Uh, yeah, that's this game could not be any worse for New York. It's still winnable. I mean, if anyone's gonna come back from a not winning a single point to a reverse sweep, it would be New York. But it's it's such a rough situation that they've put themselves in here. Um, I don't know. We're gonna have to see what they come out of halftime with. We are seeing some switches that they're wanting. They're wanting to bring in Potato
yeah,
Mare for Lynn, and
Potato being the animane extraordinaire. Like there's a tier list of animans on New York, and we joked originally that Lynn was at the top, but Potato is the pinnacle of the pyramid over there.
yeah, and then we also have BB or
I can't pronounce it
yeah.
either. I was stalling.
uh, we also have
Bimboy.
yeah, Bim Bim Bat Boy 7 coming in for Cyndaquil or Heracross. Um, and it looks like it will be 2CP that we go into next. I'm gonna be interested to see what they pick here. I don't know what their best maps are. Do you happen to know in terms of 2CP?
In 2CP, I will see the funny thing about my experience with New York is that no matter what map we picked, they rolled us. No matter what pocket strat we pulled out, they simply disregarded it and were better. So I have actually never seen New York have to strategize. And if anything, I am excited at the opportunity to finally see what this team looks like when the thought in their head is conscious strategy about Overwatch instead of pee pee poo poo.
Understandable. Yeah, that I mean, we're about to see because it looks like they've picked Volskaya, which I have to find real quick. There it is.
I
Yeah,
would not be surprised if their plan here was just to run it down main and be better with Potato on the Ana instead of Lin. And I don't know if that's going to work for them, but it is definitely something they would do.
well, I just thought of a theory. What if
Ooh,
what if New York is intentionally throwing because they want to come through losers bracket and have the same story as the SF Shock of Season 2 Overwatch League?
that would also be something they would do. So now I'm concerned that they may in fact be sandbagging.
Well, we'll have to
Um,
see. Uh,
I suppose we will, and we will be seeing in the ice fields of Russia, on Volskaya Industries. So a sobering thought you've given me there, but you know I don't know how to analyze what I just saw either, so I can't blame you.
Yeah, I think I might as well join you here for this what could be the last map.
Traveling to
Here's to hoping it isn't.
I
This has been such high quality Overwatch. I want it to go on a little longer. But we will be having a match point hanging over New York's head for the remainder of this series, and that is not a situation that they've ever been in before. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm pumped. Or wait, no, it is. Yes, they dropped 2 to, was it Boston?
Yes, they've dropped 2 to they dropped 2 to Guangzhou. And they dropped
Guangzhou.
1 to Washington. But I mean, if you think about it, this New York team has a 20 plus 24 map differential. That is uncanny with anyone else in the league. It's
Yeah.
I don't understand how things could turn so south so quickly, seeing that the only people that could even come close to beating them was Guangzhou, who I'm pretty sure beat this same San Francisco team pretty convincingly.
Guangzhou have
I
been
can't remember.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, in fairness, San Francisco has had a massive glow up in the play-ins.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
I think it's been roster swaps. It's just, they're just good. Oh, but Killswitch takes down Lucky early. There it is. That's the New York just outskilling that I'm used to. Like, I don't think San Francisco did anything wrong, but Killswitch just gets both supports because that's just what Killswitch does. He's terrifying. The man's terrifying. You don't want to play against him. He will destroy your mental.
Yeah, and that's just a wrong time to peak. But this is fine. They're trying to get this this ball disruption, get everyone in through the choke so they don't get bursted down here, which they have finally successfully done.
Yes, they are up on the high ground. Going to be positioning that McCree probably with the Brig. The Zen on the high ground, very powerful. And there it is! Sarang taking advantage of the positioning, takes down Peach, and they will be moving in now. New York lost the Lucio, so no retreat possible. The hit scan down on the side of New York, Dad falling, and Spark Chief's going to be pile driving in. Juice Ice falling so low. Kept up by Potato, almost to the Nano, and it comes out. The Nano on Juice Ice gets blown up immediately. And this will just be the first point going over to San Francisco.
And there you see what their plan was the first time around. They were going to get the main 4 people up onto the high ground, which would be their Sigma, their both supports, and their McCree. And then their Tracer and Ball would go off to the side and then coordinate a dive. And that was executed perfectly by San Fran.
Durang capitalized immediately as well.
Oh yeah. They jumped on the opportunity that they saw, and now it's on second point.
And here comes the... Ooh, well, what a rock from Killswitch to cancel out that high noon. But the mines force New York into the corner, and Juice Ice falls! Spark Chief rolls through, picks off Dad, and the snowball is real. Lucky takes down Peach, and... I mean, you need to contest. Bimbap coming over on the May, gonna stall out for a second longer here. Oh, but the Blizzard canceled! It doesn't even have time to come out! And all Juice can do is roll around. Peach gets a touch, Peach gets held up, flashed, and murdered unceremoniously. And New York just got stomped.
Man, I don't even know. After that first fight, it was looking like maybe New York could put something together, and I don't know, that it was just a misplay by SF, I think, on that first fight that led to them getting picked and losing that fight. But once they actually got set up and had time to set up their dive, get people on high ground, get the positions they wanted, they just rolled through. And whoever... I mean, I don't know how you can come back, get a better time than what SF just put on the board. But 2, how you can go in and win this map. I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words.
That was even more dominant than the first two maps. I mean, at least New York stole it to 30 seconds on King's Row.
Oh yeah.
I fail to see what they could be planning. And Juice Ice is just gonna lock this Rhine again. Peach on the Lucio is the change we see, I suppose. Bivim on the Symmetra.
Yeah,
And they might be teleporting wide? No, they're not even teleporting wide.
The little bit that I have seen of Vivin Batboy is that he does like the Symmetra pick.
Spark Chief did kind of just feed right there, so they're probably gonna cap first.
That was an interesting TP. I'm not gonna lie, that was... I wouldn't say the best, but hey, I got him the point.
Oh, but Zyphon picking off Potato in the back, and now it's unclear. New York without their main healer. Peach flashed on the high ground, can't get caught if you're the Lucio. Oh, but with Dauntless and Kilo and Zyphon falling, that'll be all she wrote for the first point for San Francisco. It's less clear than it should be, though. New York are gonna have the spawns, but it's Peach and Dad dueling out Spark Chief on the ball, and the ball can just stall as long as it pleases.
It looks like he is gonna get out here, though.
A very slow cap for having started with a pick onto a tank. But you can't complain about that, and New York has about a minute and 20 seconds if they want time bank parity. Which, without Nano having Potato picked so early in that fight, is going to be tough. But they do have Beat. And the Beat will have to be enough to counteract this Pulse Bomb. Gets Bivimba. And the Pile Driver comes in, won't get a thing, but New York in full retreat. And time enough to build up that trans for Lucky.
Man, this is... I'm wondering why they're still on the sim. He's not really close to wall. I'm assuming they're trying to set up some kind of TP spot, but I haven't seen them...
They must have one.
I haven't seen them use it, like use the TP since first point. And he just drops there.
Bibimbap sent up and Zyphon picks him off, and here comes the high noon from Sarang. Oh, and Potato gets caught out in the open.
Wow.
I've played with Potato, not a lot, but enough to know that she doesn't make that mistake 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
I am very much at a loss for words. I don't know what's happening right now. My mind points to New York sandbagging because this is not... They don't play like this. But... like that shatter from Juice. Juice's Ryan is a bit too creative sometimes, but come on. What was he trying to shatter? The ball? And now he got stuck, booped forward, dies. The beat from Peach not in time, and they're investing ultimates anyway. Peach jumps off the map.
Yeah, this is... Oh, and Kilo with the with the tactical crouch, my bad. This is not the way you wanted this game to go if you're New York. I mean, they can't control this ball. As you see, they switch over to the McCree so that maybe they can get more stuns onto this ball. But with the comp they were running, they only really had Potato to hit those sleeps, and it just wasn't coming through. So maybe this McCree switch will help them maybe even get the second point. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
There's a tool that they don't run anymore. Peach gets caught in the mines, killed. Potato gets caught apart from the team, killed. I don't understand what I'm witnessing. I mean, I know that in that particular fight, what I was witnessing was a brilliant set of area denial mines from Spark Thief that absolutely shut down New York's any chance at pushing, but like in the general sense, I'm very confused. New York regrouping. Potato's on the Mercy. Potato is on the Mercy.
I think
The
that shows.
absurdity of this statement might be lost on the general public, but this should not be occurring. And Killswitch knows that spot. What Zyphon just did to Killswitch is something I have tried to do to Killswitch and failed to. Because he checks that.
Wow.
New York is either tilted out of their minds or throwing.
I really don't know. I can't tell at this point. If
I
they're
don't think you'd be able to tell anyway. I don't think there's a discernible difference, but
maybe this is just SF capitalizing on their already throwing gameplay. I don't know.
San Francisco looks so good right now. It's not that New York is playing bad, but like New York is playing Overwatch. San Francisco is just playing it better. Okay, Bibimbap comes through with 2 right there, but
Make that 3.
I mean, I stand by what I said. San Francisco is looking like the better team. Okay, as I say, this Bibimbap just keeps killing people, but all right, you know what? Like, I get that I'm plat, but sometimes the McCree just gets 4. That happens sometimes. Gets 5.
Maybe
Gets
6. Maybe. And
All right.
New York
I'd give up.
They complete a round. I think their biggest struggle was trying to take care of that ball. They had nothing besides the Ana sleeps to take care of that ball. I mean, yes, you have the rocks, but a lot of times it's hard to take care of the ball off of just a rock. And especially when you use that rock, that's the go time for that ball. And so the McCree switch helped, and actually the whole reason they won that fight was because Bimbat Boy trapped Spark Chief in that room, in like that little mini room off to the right side, and he couldn't leave and just died. Once that ball was dead, he just went in and started clicking heads. That was literally the whole. I think that was what was keeping them back from capping earlier, was that kill onto the ball. And so it looks like they're wanting to keep this same comp. I feel like keeping the Ana would be better, just so you have that sleep. It's just an extra stun. I don't like that they switched off the Kree though. That might come back to haunt them.
New York is a team of superior coordination, and when their coordination is disrupted, I find it easy to believe that they would suffer. I'm in agreement with your analysis. I think they should absolutely be on the ball, but Bibimbap might be in the mind of, I was popping off, let me get on a character that does more damage when I hit my shots. And that might be a bit of a dangerous mindset to be in.
He does have the pocket, so maybe they're just going for pure picks
And they
before
do
the ball.
have the position now. Oh, but Juice feeds, and Bibimbap dies to the ball, as you mentioned. And now they just need to die. But if San Francisco stagger these kills out, which they don't, but they could have staggered the Mercy there, and there would have been a problem for New York. I mean, there's a problem for New York anyway, let's be fair. But they're back onto the McCree, so let's see if it's too late.
Juice has to touch here. He's coming around the right side.
They do not know. Pepe laugh. Juice is going to get that touch, but he's going to get discorded and blown up. So falling very low and goes down, stalling out the point. And now New York just need to be superior. Bibimbap trades off Spark Chief, and now here he is, the McCree, in mini. Oh, but gets taken down by Sarang. And now the Brig on one side, the Zen on the other. San Francisco's composition is in full operation. Peach gets Dauntless in the back line. Oh, it won't be enough though. Juice is back, but into so much CC. And New York, they get a tick, but they can't get any more than that.
It's... I'm just not a fan of the... It's just a team comp diff, I feel. The Brig Zen is so powerful right now. Those discords, adding those the damage and the poke potential even of the Zen is unbelievable. The fact that they're running a Mercy Lucio or a Mercy Ana to me is honestly just making the difference really. 'Cause that Brig also has the stuns that keep the ball in check, and like I said, Spark Chief has been giving them
Ready for battle.
like the business the entire time, this entire game. I
Would like to have the chance to change the past.
I really don't understand what they're trying to accomplish. They do have Dad on the Torb, so maybe this is
My God. Here it is, fellas. Here it is. Oh man, you know they're boomed now. That's right. It's the Sigma Orisa double shield. Here's the Torbjorn. Here's the Symmetra.
maybe
You
this
cannot
is
get more boomed than this.
maybe this is a unbelievable strategy where they TP the turret around, getting it to different spots there normally shouldn't be. Maybe that's what they're going for here.
Nope. I honestly think that they're just running it down mid with building strats because they're boomed. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I can't make a narrative where this is a tight match anymore. I was really looking forward to this, but San Francisco is just the better team. They have absolutely exploded onto the scene in the play-ins and now the playoffs. And I mean, at this point, you're making New York play double shield. You're styling on the league at this point. There's the pile driver on the high ground, and the halt will not come through on the ball. And that shield's gonna go down right quick. There it is, the Orisa now alone on the point. And the Tracer just walks into the high ground and kills Dad. And Yorker lost. Potato gets the res, gives her life. New Yorker lost. The cap comes through for San Francisco, and the New York Prime, dominant all year, plus 24 map diff, have just been boomed 3-0, scoring 2 whole points in the match.
Play of the game.
Yeah, and oh, I really don't see what the, I mean, I guess they were throwing at that point. I really don't know. To me, it's honestly, for me, Spark Chief is the POTM. To me, it's just like, how are you gonna run double shield with Lucio Mercy? Even an Ana would be better there, I feel, than the Mercy. I don't know. This map just felt weird. This match just felt weird, and and Spark Chief was just
Weird to
rolling
me
all over
because
them.
I'm used to. Oh my God, rolling is the operative word.
Yeah, just rolling around, having a
At
good
the
old
speed
time.
of sound.
Yes, sir. I
Got
like.
places to go.
I don't know. It was. I don't know. This was. I just feel like he was the best player in this lobby. It was just crazy how no one could take care of him. I don't know.
I'm used to seeing the 3-0 scoreboard going the other way when dealing with New York, but wow.
I'm at a loss for words.
San Francisco just rolled. Are you kidding me? Spark
Oh.
Chief,
Hello.
what did you just do, man?
Just played the game, man.
Played the game pretty damn well, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say that too. A little bit.
So
I mean, I'm at a loss for words with what you just did on the wrecking ball.
So, was there a different game plan from how you guys would normally play going into this match against New York?
Yeah, we had practiced like raw for like a total amount of like 2 times, and then we just said, okay, just lock right. And I'm like, okay, and we just went with it. And then we just went ball with it once they said like, oh, I'm just not playing right in this one. That's it. Pretty much.
I'm at a loss for words. Just at how dominant this was. We knew y'all were a good team. We knew they were a good team as well. But only letting New York get 2 points through 3 maps. That's what stood out to me. Great play, great play.
Thanks.
Oh my.
Confident are you headed into the rest of the playoff ladder after a match like that? Is it just
Okay.
you figure you're rolling? Because I figure you're rolling at this point.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't play computer like a shit ton, so I barely know anyone. So we'll see, man. I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Well, I don't keep forgetting that you came over from console, but I do keep having to remind myself because you certainly don't play like it.
I like to say that. I'd like to say that too, but I can't really say it for myself. But I appreciate it.
Well, after such a win like that, I think you're allowed to say whatever you want about yourself. Take a page out of Zyphon's book. I'd go around and brag if I were you, if I were anybody on your roster, because that was dominant.
Yeah, I like to keep it humble. You know, I don't like making unnecessary banter and shit. I like to stay chill.
I respect a man like that.
I
I
respect it.
respect that a lot.
Alright, well,
Well, oh wow.
thank you for coming out. Give
No,
us a
thank you
little
for
interview.
testing. Right,
Mhm.
thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Have a great rest of
Happy
your
New Year.
year, I guess.
Alright, well,
You can't convince me that I actually just witnessed what I just saw take place. But
yeah, that
yeah,
apparently I scuffed the entire thing. But
oh,
we'll get it fixed.
unfortunate.
Um, the score is 3-0, and yes, I know that that just popped up, but we'll just talk about that later. Anyways. Oh, what a match. I
Yeah,
think that
it sure was.
alright, I think that's it for us over here.
That is gonna do it. What a way to ring in the new year. Ladies and gentlemen, the San Francisco Shungite reigning supreme over the New York Prime, and I think we have some new top dogs in the league.
Yeah,
Look out for San Francisco. They will be waltzing through this playoffs if nobody else stops them.
yeah, I'm just thinking New Year, New York. I don't know. That was alright.
New
Well,
Year, New York. That's a one way to describe a mental collapse.
alright. Well, thank you all for stopping by the stream.
And here's to hoping we can give you something closer next time. We might see a rematch. This might be our finals. New York may come through all the way through the losers bracket. We might have a San Francisco shock on our hands, but
We'll have to see.
we will definitely see, and we will be excited to see some more of this San Francisco Shungite team because they are looking phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Alright.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. This is Simplicity Overwatch signing off.